It is time for my September wrap up. So I am going to get right into it, and I'll talk about my TBR at the end of the video, and let's get right into it. This was Sumerian September, so of course I started the month with a Conan novel, and that was Conan the Road of Kings by Carl Edward Wagner. It was okay. It is the best of the Conan pastiches I attempted to read because the rest were awful, and you can check those out in my Sumerian September video, which is coming out either before or after this video. You'll see it in the feed. After that, I decided to get into some Guy Gavriel Kay because there are a lot of people that I trust when it comes to books that told me that this is amazing. And I already read A Song for Raban and it was very good. Well, Sailing to Sarantine is absolutely amazing. I made a video about the Sarantine Mosaic. Go check that out as well. I don't know what to say beyond Guy Gavriel Kay, real good. After that, I dove back into some John D. MacDonald and we read The Quick Red Fox by John D. MacDonald, book 4 in the Travis McGee series. It's great. I mean, it's not as good as the first 2 or 3, but it's still very good. After that little break, I went into Lord of Emperors, which is the second book in the Sarantine Mosaic. And after that, I tried to read Conan the Rebel. It did not go well. Conan the Rebel by Poul Anderson is just not good. I really tried to get something out of it, and I just did not enjoy it. I quit after about 20%, 25% of the book, so that wasn't fun. But that did allow me to jump right into The Lions of Al-Rassan by Guy Gavriel Kay. And wow, I did not know that another Guy Gavriel Kay book could get close to the quality of the Sarantine Mosaic, and then this surpassed it. So I was absolutely blown away. Guy Gavriel Kay is very close to being one of my favorite fantasy writers of all time. I will read his entire bibliography and let all of you know. And after that, I thought I really needed some nonfiction. So I picked up Invisible Doctrine, The Secret History of Neoliberalism. It's great. Is it for anyone else out there watching this video? Probably not, but if you're watching and you say, hey, I recognize the term neoliberalism, then you might like the book. It's less than 200 pages. It's super short. I did it on audio and it was like 3 hours and 40 minutes. You might want to give that a try if that interests you in any way. After that, we got into one of my favorite books of the entire month, and that is Heroes Die by Matthew Stover. I did not make a video about this book. I'm starting book 2 very soon, and as long as it goes well, I will just be making a review of the series when I finish it. It's 4 books. Really looking forward to book 2. It's amazing. Heroes Die is science fiction and fantasy and just grimdark and brutal and violent and cool and over the top, and wow, is it good. I just couldn't believe it. It's just magnificent. Some people are like, it's 3-star, whatever. Nope, not for me. It's very good. After that, I read City by Clifford D. Simic. I mentioned City in a video earlier this year. It was 4 or 5 vintage science fiction and fantasy books from like the 1950s and 40s that I wanted to read this year. Well, I finished City, one of the best science fiction novels I've ever read. City is a framed narrative, and the structure is stories told by dogs or so far into the future that these sapient dogs don't remember humans existing. There's a little more to it than that, but it's very, very good. I could not believe it. I think that Clifford D. Simic was so far ahead of the curve when it came to a lot of things you see in science fiction a decade or 2 after he wrote it, that it just puts him on a whole nother level compared to your average science fiction writer. I don't understand how he is not more well known today. The book is literally about doggies. How is this not more popular now? It's written so well, it does not feel dated. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but this month was a month of absolute bangers. This next one was Deadly Shade of Gold by John D. MacDonald, book 5 in the Travis McGee series. This is a Travis McGee double because the book is like twice as long as your average one, and it's so good. I think it might be my favorite McGee novel so far. It just has everything. He travels to a bunch of different places. This one, a lot of it takes place in Mexico, near Sinaloa and stuff. And this is the 1960s. And he's in like this resort and he's doing some investigating. And it's just so good. The cast is almost too big, which is not really to its detriment because the characters are just so good. I was obsessed with all of them, so I got a little overwhelmed sometimes. But after that, I read another Glenn Cook novel because you know I got to be cooking. And I read Whispering Nickel Idols, book 11 in the Garrett P.I. series. It was very good. It's not like the greatest Garrett P.I. novel, but it's nowhere near the worst. I liked the mystery. I love just being in that world, exploring Ton Fair, and just seeing these casts of characters that Glenn Cook puts into his novels. And the great thing about the Garrett P.I. series is that is his playground. Glenn Cook just does whatever he wants, and I am all for it. So these are the books I finished. I'll talk about some DNFs in a minute, but I finished the month with Flame and Crimson, A History of Sword and Sorcery by Brian Murphy. It is fantastic. It is everything you want in a history of just about anything. It's almost comprehensive to a fault. There's so much there, but it's written so well that you just enjoy it while you experience it. I just really, really liked it. This month had 8 5-star reads. Holy crap. You talk about an amazing month. Yes, I tend to give out a lot of 5 stars, more than pretty much anyone else I know that reviews books, but I am very strict when it comes to whether or not a book is good. If a book sucks, it is getting 2 stars, and if it sucks bad enough, it is getting a DNF. There's a little wiggle room between my 4s and 5s, but ratings are arbitrary and stupid anyways, so that's why you're watching a video, so you can get a little nuance. I mentioned DNFs. I had quite a few books I did not finish. One of them was A Short History of Fantasy by Farah Mendelssohn and Edward James. It went from being a really, really good intro and first chapter to a word vomit of name-dropping books and times when they came out and very little substance to that. It was just like, here's everything that happened in fantasy. This book came out this year and it was about kind of like this, and then this author and this stuff, and it's like, whoa, I need a little substance. You're just naming things off at this point. So I ended up DNFing that book. And after that, I DNF'd other stuff, but they had to have been so bad that I just forgot about them because I did. I also read some comic books. I mentioned in my Conan video that I read a handful of the Marvel Conan comics from the 70s, followed by the black and white edition of the Savage Sword of Conan. It is fantastic. Holy crap. And when it comes to my TBR, I talk about it in my spooky video for this year, and that is Blackwater by Michael McDowell, which is horror / Southern Gothic, and then In a Lonely Place by Carl Edward Wagner. It's his horror short fiction, and I love me some Carl Edward Wagner. I'm really looking forward to that. And after that, more Glenn Cook. I might start Instrumentalities of the Night this month, and I'm for sure reading a Garrett P.I. novel. I've already started it, book 12. I cannot remember what it's called, but I will post a picture of it right now. And after the Garrett P.I. novel, I might try to squeeze in A Matter of Time this month. And that's if I don't do Instrumentalities of the Night. The problem is we're in October now. I only got 3 months to finish the last 9 Glenn Cook novels, which is plenty of time, but I don't want to burn myself out kind of sprinting to the finish line at the end. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to read The Space Merchants by Frederick Pohl and C.M. Kornbluth. That is part of my list of things I wanted to read from the 40s and 50s. Like I said, that video's in the description. I should also be reading Bright Orange for the Shroud by John D. MacDonald. Of course, another Travis McGee book. I'm probably going to be reading 1 a week on average until I've read them all, so I can start them over again and read them again. They're just small enough that they're super easy to squeeze in anywhere in your TBR, and every time I've done so, it has been worth it. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I like John D. MacDonald, and I mentioned it in another video, but look at this bad boy. I have a trivia book about Travis McGee now. I'm taking it to another level, and I am not ashamed of it. I'm going to master this book too when I'm done. I will know everything there is to know about Travis McGee, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I will try to squeeze another spooky book or two in. I might reread Burn Witch Burn by Abraham Merritt. It's short and it's perfect in every way. I think I have a review of it. If I don't, I should make one. And after that, I want to squeeze in some nonfiction, probably some things off of my 40 before 40 list. That video is also in the description. I'm noticing that this month was actually rather productive with videos. I feel like some months I do this wrap up and I talk about all these books I read and I'm like, yeah, they were great. Here's what I thought about them, blah, blah, blah. And then other months I'm like, hey, this was good. Check out the video. Hey, this was good. Check out the video. Hey, these are my plans. Check out the video. I'm trying to be more productive, almost to the point that I make these wrap ups obsolete This was a very good month. Next month is going to be a very good month. And I have a few videos I want to shout out. I made my 40 before 40 video, which was influenced by Evie's 40 before 40 video. She said she was going to make one, and I said, hey, I'm going to steal that idea, and you should make yours so I can watch it. So she made hers, tagged me, and I made mine. Well, Steve Donahue responded with his own 40 before 40, and that is a great list too. Check both of their videos out. I will link them again in the description. And it's just a ton of fun. Anyone out there, make a 40 before 40 video and tag me. I want to watch it. And if you're older than that, then make a 50 before 50 or a 30 before 30. I don't care. Something with that theme, tag me in it. I want to watch it. I also had a Black Company super spoiler chat with Evie. That is on her channel. I will link it as well. Anyone who has read the Black Company series, please go watch that. I know there's like 12 of us that watch YouTube and have read the entire series. And you know, there's not a lot of us. Let's share the joy that is the Black Company. I have a few little tidbits in there that I talk about that I don't think a lot of other readers have noticed in the series. I know I blew Evie's mind with a few of them, and it was just a great scatterbrain discussion about one of the best fantasy series ever written. I wanted to add these toward the end. My video plans for the rest of the month are another Conan video, this time about comic books. I just want to dedicate an entire thing to them, show off the art, show off the things that I really enjoyed. I'm still reading them, probably be later this month. I have a fantastic thumbnail for it, and I can't wait to show all of you that alone. Beyond that, I'm still whittling away at a script for a video that I think is going to be just very fun. I'm going down an ADHD rabbit hole, and I'm taking all of you with me. I also want to make a video about 2 space operas I mentioned in my 40 before 40. And that is the Gap Cycle and the Liaden Chronicles, or the Liaden Universe, I think is what it's called. And those 2 series have been on my radar for a while now, and I want to read them, but I think I'm going to let all of you decide which one I read first. I'll make a video about both series, kind of why they exist, what makes them so interesting, and we will figure out which one I read together. After that, I'm just going to be putting out my regular stuff, and then literally anything that tickles my fancy. So if I find it a good book, I read it, love it, it's a banger, then we'll talk about that. Other reviews, other topics. I've been having a lot of fun making these videos, and I have an unboxing I will be filming soon as well. Be on the lookout for that, because it has been a year in the making. I backed a Kickstarter almost before I had a channel, and it's coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow my time, not your time. I don't know when you're watching this. That's all I got for now. Let me know in the comments what you read for the month and what your favorite book of the month was. I am a coward, and I'm not going to say I had a favorite book this month because I read 3 5-star GGK novels. I read Heroes Die, which blew me away. I read City, which is probably one of the best science fiction novels of the 1950s, along with some more amazing Travis McGee. And you know what? I'll do it. 5 stars, Flaming Crimson, A History of Sword and Sorcery, because it's nonfiction, and I don't think I have given a nonfiction book of the month yet. Or maybe I did last month. I can't remember. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching. And with that, I'll see you next time.